Ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to another edition of Her Love in His Peace. And these are
These are.
and these are our welcome back to another edition of Her Love in His Peace.
I,
uh, welcome back to another edition of Her Love and His Peace, where we talk about love, life, and relationships in the modern time. And these are our conversations that we have on a weekly basis.
have you ever heard of the saying? Or maybe not, or maybe because it could go either way. Find you. Well, for me as a woman, I was always told you should find you a good church man. Like, find me a church man, okay? And why should I find me a church man? So here's some of the reasons behind they say you should find you a good church man. Then I want to see what you think about that, as far as finding a mate in the church.
That's right. So they get you a church man. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
give me a church man. So the some of the reasons behind let me give you a little background. The reason why I'm told that because I was raised in the church. My grandparents had a church, and so it was like, you don't really you want to get you a good church man because he believe in God and he fears God and all the extra things that go along with the church. So, all right, I can see what we could do there. So, long story short, here we go. I get older, start dating. Get married, not to a church man, but it's still told, oh, you should find your church man. And that's because they want you to have somebody that's, as they refer, equally yoked. And like I say, being raised in the church, there's a Bible scripture that goes behind that. And it's
Equally
like
yoked. What does that mean? Yoke.
being equally yoked is believing, having the same beliefs, kind of like the same upbringing. Um, Me, I really think it's just mainly both of you believing in God, you know,
Sure. Birds of a
uh,
feather.
flock
Same
together.
common interest. Yeah, common interest.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. So, with that, I'm like, okay, so, uh, did I guess I should say once I got a little older, got married, I kind of see what they say. But now, as I'm getting older and I how do I want to put it? I was
You.
no longer married, and it was still being told to me, "Oh, find you a good, wholesome church man."
That's what's up. Get you a church man. Equally
Really,
yoked.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
I
And you admitted
understand.
that you're getting older.
Not as old as you, but yeah, I am getting older. Remember,
Just
you
saying.
are older than me. Don't let's not forget that, Mister. You are older than me, but we ain't gonna say how much older. But you are old.
That reigns supreme though.
Okay, so anywho, as I move beyond the marriage stage and re-enter the dating stage, um, still didn't find me a good, wholesome church man, but that's just in between. That was before you. So let's, where do I want to fast forward it to? Okay, so I I went to this church and there was a gentleman that found interest in me, and
He was smitten.
is that what you want to call it? Smitten?
He's smitten.
Okay, well, whatever he was. Anyway, he asked me out to dinner. I went. Like, And now it's like ugh, I shouldn't have never went because first of all, he now mind you, I met him at church.
At church.
At church. So I'm assuming he was a church man. So I went to dinner and I started comparing him to after the dinner, I started comparing him to as what they would call a man of the world because literally his wants was the same wants and maybe not even the same as the man in the world. So mind you, this is a church man. I see him at church every Sunday and we went to dinner and the first thing, or I should say the second part of the conversation was, well, I like you and you're a good looking young lady and I'ma just be honest, we both grown. You know what I want. No, I don't know what you want. What do you trying to find a wife? What I don't know, what do you want? No, we both grown and you got needs and I got needs. I never told you I had needs. You're like, well, I got some needs that I need met. Mm, but you're a church man. Okay. Okay. All right. And he was upfront with it. I'm like, now this is he may not be the type of church man that they say you should find, but I'm like, ew. So my experience I'm starting to see is you just as bad as them that don't go to church. I mean, because you have some that's out that don't go to church. I mean, don't even step foot in the church, but believe in God. So I'm like, I would consider that as being equally yoked. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts on how do you think
Well,
women of the world are different than church women or
at the end of the day, everybody's human. So whether he's in the church or whether he's outside, he's still got the same human faults,
hmm
which is fair. He
okay.
was just a little bit more upfront than most cats was with his faults or his wants.
He
With
was
his wants.
too upfront.
Well, everything, like I said, relationships have to have chemistry, and there has to be a chemistry there in order to move forward. Okay, so there wasn't a chemistry there. He was on one sheet of music and you were on another. It happens. It happens. You know,
Yeah, because I
but
even ended up telling you about this particular incident.
so
And now I it's like every time he see me, oh, you still owe me dinner. I didn't ask you out, you asked me out. And if I knew I was gonna have to repay you, I wouldn't have never went. At least the man of the world, if he take you out, yeah, he may be expecting something, but if he don't get it, he still don't every always talking about, oh, you owe me dinner. No, I don't owe
yeah,
you nothing.
he's still hunting. He's trying to see if the door is a little bit open still. That's why he says that because he's still hunting. You know, he can't blame a man for hunting.
I done
Hunters
told him
hunt.
the door is closed. The I told him that door is closed. That door was closed after the first dinner date. But once I told him, look, I'm in a relationship. I'm very happy. That door is closed. Bye bye. Bye bye. But he he just can't take no for an answer. It's like, oh, I'm like, and
That's
I
like
tried. Hmm,
most pea brain dudes can't take no well. That's that's part of the pea brain syndrome. But anyway, the thing about getting a church man is I get it. I take it, you know, but it's supposed to be kind of a thing of one thing to kind of check off the box if you're in the same type of thing, into the same type of things, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. Now, where it goes wrong is your expectation.
Mine?
See, no, just
Oh,
in general, not
oh,
just you, just in general. Your
okay.
expectation is that a church man would act a certain way or
Correct.
behave in a certain manner. That's what your expectation is,
That is correct.
right? And so when the expectation is not there or is not met, right,
Mm-hmm.
then the thing goes, well, forget getting the church man. I'm getting the dude that's outside.
At least I know what to expect from him. My
Well, but that's
expectations is different from a church man and a man that does not go to church, I should say. I won't say
okay. So what are those expectations? What do you expect from a church man versus a man that's outside? What's the
um
expectation difference? You expect a church man to not be what that the outside man is.
well, for a church man, you would think, not saying, you would think he would be a little bit more respectful of far as how he address you. Compare, I mean, not saying that the men that don't go to church isn't respectful, but I should say most of the, well, not most because it ain't been a lot, but the men I have met, the few men that I have met that don't go to church,
Mhm.
they first comment what, oh, I like your body. Like, really, dude? That that wasn't far as being a church man, that was just flat out disrespectful to me, period. It didn't even really have anything to do with being a church man or a worldly man. It's
Mhm.
just, that was, I get it if you do go to that point, but not on the first dinner date. It's like, really? You don't just flat out tell me. Now, there's, I guess my expectations for a man that doesn't go to church is a lot lower, because you don't, you expect for him, I shouldn't say expect, but certain things he would say, you would like, okay, well, yeah. I guess I really don't know how to put that one because,
Okay, let me ask this then. So
okay,
if you're if you're dating a guy in the church, is the focal point of that conversation, especially early on, going to be about the dynamics of the faith and the belief in God and the church and things of that nature? So is the focal point of that whole starting to date thing going to be in that realm or focal point?
I would say, yeah, I would think you would, being a church person, that's what we would talk more about. Not saying that a world, a man in the world would talk like that. I mean, because there's a lot of people that do talk a lot of religion, scriptures, and that don't even step foot in the church. And I can understand that too, because everybody have their reasons why they don't go to
Right.
the building. So, I guess you're right. My expectations of the two are different. I expect
So,
more. I expect more from a church man. I don't want to make it sound bad, but I expect more from a man that goes to church who said he's living a certain way compared to the man that's in the world. Wait a minute. Okay, I got it better yet. A man that's saying they're professing Christ compared to a man that just believe in God, believe there is a God, but not saying he's, yeah, living
so, so the
to the,
onset, the start of the conversation, if you're dating a churchman, is more likely to be in that realm of him, church, and being around those kind of value systems
Yes,
versus the dude that's outside.
correct.
And would you say a lot of people that's kind of their expectation that if they were dating a person who is where where you got together around this belief, this same belief
Mm-hmm.
in faith, that
Right.
was your reason for connecting,
Correct.
besides looking handsome and and beautiful and all that other stuff, you know, all that worldly stuff. All right.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
Okay.
not that a church person don't go for just looks too, but you would think they kind of just look a little bit beyond
Okay.
the outer appearance.
The
There we
outer
go.
appearance.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that, and I can see that. Right. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it ain't true.
So, so, so do you do you think it's different from dating a girl that goes, I mean, a church girl compared to a a woman of the world?
And just in dating in period, that's not the primary thing on the list.
Okay.
And maybe it's because I'm outside, right? So
Okay.
I can't speak for a a person that's a man that's in the church, and when they have their first meetings and dates and things, is the focal point the church religion aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because I'm like, you know,
Now, see,
I'm willing
now,
to bet that while they use that as the conversation piece, right? They probably going, damn, look at them ass and titties, boy. Woo-hoo.
now, now he made that comment, but not the last two, not the first word, but the last word. I'm like,
uh,
really? I'm like, really? You just gonna sit here and describe my body? Really? I'm like, I wouldn't I wouldn't have never thought.
well, even in
Well,
dating,
I
I
guess
wouldn't say it, wouldn't verbalize that. That's something you keep in your head there.
you would think, especially
Right.
on the first, you know how they say you always send your representative in the
Hey,
beginning.
you got to send your
I,
representative.
I guess
Yeah.
he ain't had no
Right.
representative because it was
Right.
like,
His representative. Hey, his representative didn't show up that day.
nah, it was like, nah, you go, dog. I'm good. I
Hey,
don't, no, I don't want to.
you don't want to turn them off on the first date, you know. So
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta give him something to think. Oh, well, he's okay. Yeah, I
no,
don't know about that. You know, at least, you know, at least stay in the game. And you gotta stay in the game.
nah,
You,
nah,
you let
nope.
the conversation of going to church and what the pastor said this Sunday and all that, and Sunday school, and you know, helping the homeless and this, that, and the other. Then you ease into the other stuff after a couple bottles of wine.
Nah, there was, and that's the thing. There was no drinks nowhere. I had, you know me, I had a Coke. That's my favorite favorite soda.
Right. So
But it was like, mm, okay.
I think with a lot of people, it's about their expectation, and they do expect a man in the church to act a certain way, be a certain way, and I'm not saying their expectation is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that, especially in the modern time, as you see, right, you
Mm-hmm.
kind of got to adjust your expectation. You know,
Yeah,
adjust it a little bit, and be prepared to be, know, not so traditional, because we live in a not so traditional time.
that is correct.
Right. You
That
know,
is correct. So, yeah, I just, just turned and walked away. I
well,
was
what
like,
about the ladies and the other ladies in the church that are single? They having a similar experience, or what?
I haven't really talked to him, but I like, d- matter of fact, I had a conversation with this lady last week, and we were talking about men of the church. And we both, we both attend the same church. And the first thing she said, well, I wouldn't mind finding a man in the church. She said, but well, actually, she agreed. I must correct myself. She like, they ain't no better than the men out in the world. I'm like, she said, and then there is none there that I even find attractive. I'm like, I must agree with you on that one too. So, she's like, not saying there isn't any in the church somewhere, but
In your
like
particular church, there's no attractive dudes, or no dudes
the
that she's
there's
attracted.
no right, right, right. So she's like, I'ma just keep waiting and see what happens. She's like,
Y'all got to
I
get some
can't.
new members. You got a church full of unattractive dudes in there.
Well, it's
Y'all got to do some
it,
outreach or something.
it don't matter. I already got a man.
Oh,
So
boy.
yeah,
You got to
hey,
go out and do some outreach work, bring some new blood
that
in.
yeah, I agree. But I'm spoken for, so sorry, no.
Hey, y'all got to
I'm
talk to
not.
the pastor about recruiting or something, helping y'all out.
Yeah,
Help the
he
sisters
out.
out, pastor.
He already married, so he like forget them. Like, what? No, I'm just fun.
He's supposed to take it to the streets to help the sisters out.
Uh,
Huh?
yeah, I guess, but I guess they'll come, but I won't. I'm not looking, so I'm good. Thank you, thank you for offering,
Well,
but I'm good. Huh?
well, this probably goes on to asking why you didn't get chose.
That
I,
is a good question.
I know people that sit back and they contemplate why they didn't get chose for a relationship, and then they start to compare themselves when they see someone that they were interested in or had a past relationship in, as in the ego comes out of them trying to compare their looks, their attributes to the next person. And a lot of cases, it's not about your looks versus their looks,
Mm-hmm.
your whole attributes on the surface versus their attributes on the surface. It's not about that. So you drive yourself crazy. I don't do it, but I know plenty of people that do, that drive themselves crazy asking a question about why they didn't get chose. And to me, it's straight crazy.
Well,
It's straight
you know,
retarded.
you do have people wondering why they
Well,
didn't get chose. I mean, I'm
they,
sure there's a lot.
well, the simple answer is because motherfucker wasn't buying what you were selling.
Well,
That's why you didn't get
which
chose, because they wasn't buying what you were selling.
is well, that could be one of the reasons. but there's a lot. I think there's a few more reasons.
To me, a lot of it comes down to this. For me personally, it comes down to chemistry that you have. You have to have chemistry, especially if you're looking to be around this person on any length of timeline, right? There
uh
has to be a chemistry there. Even in the bad times, there's still got to be a chemistry there,
I
you know.
agree. I
And
agree with that.
without that, there's no possibility of a, to me, lasting relationship unless it's a relationship of circumstances where you just stand together because, or you just got together because. That's a totally different type of thing, you know. But chemistry is a big thing, and that's something a lot of people don't understand is the type of chemistry you may have. And the other thing is, it depends on where that person is in their life at the time. They may have all the attributes in the world that lead up to this person being the perfect person,
Mm-hmm.
but in their life, where they are right now, they may not even be living up to those attributes,
Right.
which means that they're not even ready for that relationship. And some people try to wait it out. You know, they try to wait it out.
True.
But it's a there's no guarantees there, even if you do wait it out. You
Right.
know, so it's it's nuts. Where
And how
you
long
know,
should you wait it out?
well, see, that's the whole thing. That's sometimes you get that where these people be talking about, oh, they wasted 10 years of my life or whatever, and blah blah blah. Uh, they if they haven't broken any promises, mm, that was on you because you saw it wasn't going nowhere, and
Yeah.
especially if there's broken promises of yeah I'm going to, or yeah I'm going to, and nothing never materializes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
How many yeah I'm going to's are you going to take, or I'll get
Right.
to it, or we'll talk about that later? How long you gonna go on that thing? And I ain't saying you got to give ultimatums, but you got to be true to yourself and say the shit ain't gonna happen. You
Right.
know, time for me to hit it. You know, and if you in love, did you waste time? That's a
And I mean, now that you bring that up, that's when people say, "Oh, I wasted 12, 10, 12 years of my life with that person." But like you say, you was in love with that person, so how could you say that time was wasted? It's like
wasted.
the time you spent together was the time you spent together.
Right.
And okay, so at some point you start growing apart. Not everybody grows apart, but then sometimes things just happen to where the chemistry is gone and it's just it's just not there no more. What do you do? Do you just stay there? Or do you just move on and say, okay, my time with you is up and no hard feelings, no time wasted because we had a good time when we were together. When times was right, times was good, it was good. And it just happened. It just happened. I mean, the chemistry just I won't say it just started dying, but either he, she, whoever started finding interest or they priorities started changing and the chemistry just started fading away and okay,
Well,
there's
there's
nothing you can do about
there's people that build unrealistic visions
it. Hmm.
about what's the next step is going to be.
Mm,
Right?
right.
If there's no clear next step, and I've heard this a lot. Well, I thought, you thought.
Right.
I didn't
Right.
say
Right.
you thought. So your assumption was. that this, and that. And the other person said, no, I didn't say that.
Right.
Right? We
Right.
didn't even discuss that to
Right.
even say this was going to be the case.
No, you just assume.
Right. Right.
Assume
And
nothing.
a lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
They just assume that I remember when back in the day when I was younger, in our 20s and stuff, I had a friend, and one person just assumed that the next step was getting married and having kids and this, that, and the other. And the other person was like, we haven't even discussed that kind of thing.
Right. Right.
I assumed, you know, and that was the end of that relationship.
And I think that's something that everybody should always talk about because um you need to have those conversations because like you said, you got one person assuming, one person like, no, I'm just, I'm good with just the relationship. And it's like,
Sure.
okay, so then when you get that understanding of no, I just want to have a relationship. And if you're gonna stay, that's fine. And if you feel you don't want to just stay because you want more, then that's your choice. You're given that opportunity to do so, to cut, stay, leave, whichever. But if you don't have that conversation and 10 years done went by and he's like, oh, I thought we would have done got married by now. Well, you never talked about it. You never told, you feeling this way and he feeling this way. Okay, well,
I've seen a few people, few guys get themselves in that position to where they had to make a decision. And because either way it goes, it was going to destroy where they were right then. They didn't want to make a decision. They're like, well, what the fuck? Why we got to do this now? This, that, and the other. And
right,
and so they have to and sometimes it has to happen. Especially if the other person is looking to find somebody to travel down that road with, and
right.
you want to stay right where you are. You're like, I'm not trying to rock this boat. We good.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
no, you got to make a decision. I'm burning time here. I want this here, and that's fair. I think that's fair.
yeah,
If you're looking to be married with kids and all of that, and this person is not looking to be married with kids, and they just want to live right now and run it out, they ain't even thinking about none of that shit. That person has to make a decision. I think it's right for that person to put them on the hot seat and make a decision, motherfucker. We rolling down this road, or you rolling down that road by yourself? Because I'm going this way.
Ah, true, but
And
and that
I'm
does,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And see, now here's where a lot of dudes make their mistake. Right, this is where a lot of dudes make their critical mistake. Instead of accepting the fact that they don't really want to travel down that road, they go down that road and fuck it up anyway. Why? Because they never wanted to go down that road anyway. But they didn't have the balls to be like, you know what? It's been a great time. I'll let you go do your thing.
right,
They do this shit. Okay, okay, I could. Okay, we can get married. Okay, okay. They fuck it up anyway
yeah,
because they didn't want to go down that road in the first place.
yeah,
That is exactly at the point where a lot of dudes pea-brain themselves and they fuck it up. You didn't want to go down that road. Instead of having some balls and saying, hey, you know, and they talk that shit. Oh man, she a good woman, and she look good, and all this other stuff, and blah blah blah. Yeah, motherfucker, but you don't want to go down that road. You're giving all these excuses on why you're gonna go down that road
right, right,
versus the number one thing. You know what? I want to go down that road,
You're right.
right?
And it's okay if you do, but that's what that I guess that's what bothers me so much. Oh, I when I hear this, I married her. She wanted to get married. What you mean she wanted to get married? You asked her, you gave her a ring, you said I do, instead of just saying, no, I don't want to get married. But like you say, well, she was good. She was good to me. I ain't want to lose her. And okay, but is that fair to her to feel like,
Right.
okay, now we finna go live ever after? Because I ain't finna say happily ever after because you hit a lot of rocky roads. So it ain't always happily ever after. So you gonna live ever after.
I hear
Either
this a
you,
lot with celebrity couples.
mm-hmm,
After they break up, and you hear the peer pressure type thing. Man, he let Holly Berry go.
right, right.
Man, he must be crazy. So she was married to the baseball player David Justice, I believe his name.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He was on a podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
he said regarding that marriage, he said, "Yeah, they look like the perfect couple, and this, that, and the other." He said, "But," and he said she was truly in love, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
said he couldn't do it. He said I couldn't do it no more, and he wanted out of the marriage. And he said it came out PR wise negative against him because, PR wise, they put, oh, he's cheating, he's doing this. He said, man, I wasn't doing none of that. I just wasn't happy in the marriage. So therefore, I ended it,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't saying it on an ego thing. He was just saying, you know, if you're not with it, it's not working. It's not working for you, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it happens all the time, but that's where a lot of people tripped up. I think he kind of peer pressured himself into, oh, we're the perfect couple and this, that, and the other, and the next step. And, uh,
Mm-hmm.
mm, um, mm, and he said again, we were young, this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of young
You
people
know,
tripped up. A lot of people tripped
a
up.
lot of people, a lot of young people do get pressured into it.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have that,
I
oh,
tell my
y'all look
people
good
all the time.
together. Or,
Oh, here we
oh,
go.
he's a good guy or she's a good girl. And okay, that may be the case, but
Hmm.
it's your life. You have to make that decision that that's what you want to do. Or y'all come together and talk about it and figure out that's what you want to do. Other than that, don't. And and you have parents that does that. All
Well,
you
yeah,
need to,
family, friends. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
that
yeah.
that that whole thing. Uh, I had a young man that was kind of going through that type of thing, and I told him, "You know what you see. You know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you see. You know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what to do. Don't let these other motherfuckers fuck you up.
Exactly. Eh,
Don't let them fuck. Don't let them trick bag you into that shit.
yeah,
You know exactly what you see." And he verbalized over, yeah, you know exactly. I told him, you know exactly what you see. You don't need me to tell you what to do. You know what to fucking do already, right?
yeah, yeah,
You have my support. Anybody that's coming for you, I got you,
yeah,
and you know they ain't gonna fuck with me.
yeah.
So you do what
Well,
you gotta do.
and that's the thing. He or she may be good out in the public's eye, but if they live together, if him or her, if they live together as a couple, one of them could be Jekyll and Hyde, and it's like, well, wait a minute, but you know, when you out in the public, you an angel, him or her, it doesn't matter. But it's like you say, you know what you see, you know what you're dealing with, and you say I do, you got to deal with that.
The other person didn't have a clue to where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to be in a relationship with somebody where the other person has no idea or no thought process about where they're going or where they want to be or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I know a lot of people that are that way. Who've got absolutely no clue about what they're doing, what they want to be, no aspirations to do anything. I expect somebody to be want to be in a relationship with you. You're just there,
Right. Right.
you know. So that that's another reason why
Yeah.
you may not get chose.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons,
Or
but
being with someone that doesn't see the vision.
that is correct. You can't
You
be
know,
with somebody like that.
right?
That you
If they
you
don't see your vision, regardless of what your vision is, if I wanted to be the best bank robber around,
I'm here to
you got
support you.
you gotta see the vision.
You got my support.
You gotta see the vision.
Right,
And
right.
that's part of what they were talking about the communication aspect of it uh, and whatnot of being in a relationship. So there's a myriad of reasons on why you didn't get chose.
Well, I can't say anything because I am the chosen one. So, I'm a toot my horn. I am the chosen one. Woo! Toot, toot.
I'm ready for a new set of problems.
You choked me.
I want them problems.
Woo! What kind of problems we ready for?
Well, these there's the saying that uh, money can't solve everything,
It cannot.
right? Um, Money can't buy you happiness, right? And I get it. But I was recently hear somebody saying about you know money can't solve everything. It just brings on a new set of problems. Now I'm like, I'm ready for a new set of problems. Yeah. Give me a new set of problems.
I got
Right?
something for you. Okay.
It can't buy happiness, but it can buy you a lot of comfortability in your misery. So
It can.
I'm kind of with it at this point. I'm kind of with it. You know,
It 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 can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you things that make you happy for the time being.
it ain't even got to make me happy for the time being. If it's gonna buy me some comfortability in my unhappiness, I'm with it. Why not?
Okay.
Give me, hey, I'm willing to give it a shot. I give everything else a shot. Why not? I'm
Uh,
willing to give it a shot.
be careful what you ask for.
Right, right, right.
So you ready for a new set of problems? All right. Let me see what I can bring you.
Yeah. Long as it's a
Um,
bunch of hundreds and tens and twenties and fives and singles, I'm with it.
oh well, I guess I ain't got nothing for you. I can't do nothing for you, man. 'Cause I ain't got. Wait a minute. Let me see if I got some dollars. I ain't even got no dollars.
Well, look,
Yeah.
that's how we doing this. There was a recent interview with Bill Gates. I think within the last 6 months or so, he's been doing a number of interviews regarding his foundation and AI and science and where they are with Alzheimer's studies and things of that nature. And when he talked about AI, the lady was asking him of the benefits of the is he worried about the perils of AI versus the benefits of AI?
Mhm.
He said he is worried about the perils of AI because the simple fact that there's a lot of unknown and being the AI being developed without guardrails on a high level, not the stuff that we use kind of day to day and what we're doing in our day to day life. And he thought it was going to be more of a thing on the political scale with the last election,
Hmm.
and that his thinking was that people, everyday people, should be saying how AI is going to be shaped to affect our lives. Because he did say that AI will challenge us
Hmm.
because of the development in it. And it's the first technology with no limit.
Hmm.
And this
Really?
is and this is where I'm always saying is that we wait for things to get developed, they get implemented. So AI now is implemented. It's
Yes, it
here,
is.
right?
Yes.
It's implemented. But the super AI is one that's being still developed to do all these super things. And us as regular people have no controls over that.
Hmm.
So then when it goes left, then we'll all be crying to the punk ass politicians to do something, and they don't even know what the fuck to do because most of them can't even turn their own damn computer on. They got to get an assistant. So you're looking to the wrong people to say how this thing is going to be
Hmm.
shaped.
Hmm.
And so now, people are running around, some of the developers are running around saying that, you know, they're developing this thing without any guardrails. And if something doesn't happen to put guardrails in place, this is where things go all wrong,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I do believe guardrails should be in place, but that does not scare me from the technology because these are some of the things that you have to go through in order to get the technology and to function right. And all this, and so I've been taking a survey of people um, that are in these industries where AI is being used.
Hmm.
All of them are saying this whole big job replacement thing. One guy in particular said that he thought that it was an excuse to just lay people off anyway.
Hmm.
Now, and if I'm thinking correctly, the last few years, Amazon has always laid some thousands of people off before the holidays anyway.
Right. Right.
It's just this time around they're blaming it on. They got something to blame it on. Oh, we got a bad economy and AI is taking over this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah.
Right.
None of which, you know, whatever, dude. I think the big scare of AI is just that, a big scare, because there's
Hmm.
different components of this thing. There's the workers scare thing. Oh, it's going to replace all these people. There's the AI companies that are doing what the computer companies did. They're leveraging themselves and saying the technology is worth this and worth that, so that they can make money now and
Right.
leverage and make money now. And then when it comes out that this thing, that company ain't worth that, up there we go. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
there's people saying, well, the AI bubble is going to bust. I don't know. I'm not a financial guy, but that's
Right.
that's a that's an issue, but that does not stop the development of the technology. It
Hmm.
may weaken it a bit, but it's not going to stop the development of the technology of the super AI.
Hmm.
So they've got people running scared about this thing, and I'm like, ain't nothing to run scared about. Let's go. Let's develop the technology. You know, some of y'all need to sit the fuck down anyway. You wasn't worth
Well,
nothing on the job, no way. So,
I can agree with you on that one. Because, that you say that with these companies, I think there's a lot of companies that's using AI as an excuse to get rid of people. Where they say, oh well, we'll just have AI write a program to do this or do that. Yeah, it's not that simple because you've already been using automated systems anyway. And if that was the case, then the work, the jobs, some of the jobs should have been already gone anyway because of the automated. But apparently, there's still some fallout from these automated systems or from AI that you still have to have a human or a person come through and still correct it because they haven't made it to that point to where they can find their own mistakes or find what they've missed within a program or whatever. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch it develop more. This
All right.
super AI you talking about, it's going to be interesting to watch that develop more.
I'm bring on the flying cars. Let's hit it.
Yeah. Okay, we can do that. We can what? Be the Jetsons?
The Jetsons. I'm talking about you bring on the Jetsons.
Okay, so can we get a maid named Rosie? Well, it ain't even got to be Rosie. Can we get a maid? I'm just
Well,
asking.
yeah, that all that's possible. You can. People are going to say, well, what are humans going to do? With every technology, human has always adopted. And like said Guru, okay, so what? You got time to chill out now. Go take a break. He was very unconcerned about AI. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
Bill Gates said the embarrassment of riches type of syndrome, where you have so much abundance that you don't know what to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, bring it on.
Yeah. Now
Let's
you
let's
got
get there.
well, that's because you're a technical person. For people that's not really into technology, it scares them.
Well,
It
it's not
it's
even me being into technology like that, right? There is
mhm.
nothing going on in this world that I want to preserve like that. Let's get this shit moving.
Yeah, it's gonna bring on a whole new way of life.
Look, once they took away the V8 muscle cars, this shit's a wrap. Let's move on.
I got a V8. It's not a
It's
muscle
neutered.
car,
Right, it's neutered. It's
really,
neutered. Yeah, it's neutered.
really.
It's neutered. Everything else, what are we trying to preserve? For what? Why
There's a
stay stagnant? That's stagnation,
mm-hmm,
mediocrity, right?
mm-hmm.
They trying to preserve that shit. Let's move this shit forward. Let's go. A
It's
little health and welfare.
dealing with menopause. Now we all are, I won't say we all, but it varies from age. It varies from each person depending on what age. Perimenopause, which is at the beginning where you have irregular cycles, menstrual cycles. I won't just say cycles, menstrual cycle. So that goes from like 41 to 55, they say. That's a long time to be dealing with hot flashes and night sweats and yeah, that's just crazy. And then they say you get into the menopause around 55. And that's where by that age, you should not be having a menstrual cycle. But for some people that go through, well, I should say, some women go through either a total hysterectomy or what they call a partial hysterectomy. Now, a full hysterectomy is when they remove everything, And I, when I say everything, that's your ovaries, uterus, all of that. A partial hysterectomy is when they only remove the uterus but leaves your ovaries. And I was told you keep your ovaries if you want to keep your sex drive. Like, oh, okay. But some people have health issues to where they have to have a full hysterectomy, and but they give you some type of pills or estrogen pills or whatever, testosterone or mixture or whatever it takes to get your drive going. But anyway, with the menopause, it's not fun at all. You have some people call them your own private summers. I just say it's hot. It's hot. Like right now, I got the fan on because I know I'll get hot because I got a sweatshirt on. But if I turn fan off, I'm gonna be hot. Right now, I'm getting a little cold, but I ain't gonna turn the fan off because then I'll be sweating and it's like that's uncomfortable. I haven't, I don't can't really say if I've suffered with the night sweats because some people, some women suffer with night sweats where they say they are just drenched. I haven't had that problem. I get hot through the nights where I'm kicking the cover off. I'm kicking the cover off. It's like, ooh, it's hot, it's hot. But then about 2, 3 minutes later, it's like it's cold. Where to cover it? So it's for us women out here. I feel your pain. I'm hoping at some point somebody can find a cure for us to deal with this perimenopause and menopause because the estrogen, they say it's an estrogen imbalance, but I tried some estrogen pills and it made my hot flashes worse than what I was already having. So, as you know, I stopped taking them. So, I don't know if you got some solutions you can help me with what I'm dealing with. I'll be more than happy to take your solutions and try them if they work for you. If not, put them in there anyway, because what works for you may not work for me, or what don't work for you may work for me. So that's it for my health and wellness because I can't take these. Now, do you think, got a question for you. Do you think men deal with menopause like that with the hot flashes and the night sweats, even though they don't
I dealt
have a
with that.
menstrual
I
cycle?
dealt with that. Yeah, I
Did
dealt with
you?
that. It was not. They call it menopause. With me, I think it was a combination of aging and drinking real heavy,
Okay.
um, and having stomach issues. And I think it was a combination of things working all at one time. And if you try to single out one thing and try to fix that, nothing works.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the combination approach of stop drinking, stop eating the shit that you used to do, get some fucking exercise, and do a combination approach like that. It helped me immensely. I'm curious as to what if there's a was a diagnosis of ladies, say, uh, back in the day, my mom's age, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when did the menopause diagnosis first really become more widespread?
Okay.
Because I know this ain't just a late life phenomena that came on, the 70s and 80s. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Right.
Right.
So what did they do back in the day that I'm curious of? Or did they do anything? Because, science is always developing, it's
Correct.
always in motion like that. So I wonder, back in the day, and it makes me think that, you know, I grew up with three sisters, and that's what that shit was. That's why they was like that. Ah, there we go. Right now, I got it. It only took that I damn near got 60, but I got it now. That's what that was.
I'm just curious to know if there's any other women that's dealing with different body aches and pains and health issues that could
Well,
have
they
been
say
triggered by
there's,
menopause.
I think menopause triggers a lot of that stuff because they saying at certain ages, and they vary per person, that you go through major changes in life as far as your physical makeup and whatnot.
Hmm.
And I can remember really noticing a change in my 40s.
Okay.
My mid to late 40s was where I started noticing that, hey, I'm not the same guy, you know.
Okay.
And then here recently, noticing a really shift in things also. Um,
Okay.
so it's about being conscious of where you are um, in your life stages too. You know,
Okay.
you're not going to be 20 forever, shit, you know, or 30 forever, and adjusting with it and finding your sweet spot with it, your comfortability spot too. And for women, it's different because of the menopause. You know, you can't never find the sweet spot because you're hot,
No,
you're cold, you know, creaking here, this, that, yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to find the sweet spot. You know, it's just like the common cold. They got no miracle cure, you know,
no.
and you'd have thought that had been done by now, you know. No,
And that's fine, but it's like if you knew, like, if it was only a time frame or a stage that you go through, but there's some women you can talk to that say, "Oh, I've been going through menopause for 10 years now. I don't want to deal with this for 10 years." It's like, all the body aches, and it's like, no. And I know I won't get back to normal where, like, how you saying you was feeling the changes in your mid 40s. My mid, my what, early 40s, mid 40s, I was in the gym. I was working out three, at least three times a day. And it's like now it's a struggle just to get one day workout. It's like, oh man, I just don't have the energy to do it. And it's not that I don't want to do it. I would love to do it. It's just I don't have the energy to do it. And then I'm scared of what's going to be aching the next day because any little different type of movement or whatever, your body, your body feels it. But
well,
I need to go ahead.
my thing is you adjust with it, you know. Um, the whole thing is about adjusting because your body's going to do what it's going to
Mm-hmm.
do. You know, the menopause is going to be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than fight with it, right,
Mm-hmm.
adjust with it. You know, okay, if it's not workouts 3 times a week, it ain't workouts 3 times a week. Where the fuck it goes, you know. But you got to the gym once this week and shit. That hey, if that's what is rolling now. That's what the play is calling now. That's the play we calling now. Fuck it, we rolling with it. You know, that's that's most things in life. You know, especially when you get older. I ain't fucking with this shit. Just adjust. Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't fighting
I
with this thing. Just adjust. You know.
Yeah, well, my goal is to try to make it one day this week. I ain't gonna make you no promises though.
You know, just adjust and roll with it. You know, and then you adjust accordingly and find new ways to do things. And like with the whole fitness thing, you know, usually we're trying to do more than what's required because that's
Hmm.
just generally how we wired when working out. Gotta go to the max. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. Blah, 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 all that bullshit, right? Okay,
Right.
enough of that. Now, what's my minimum that I think
Yeah,
can keep me healthy and keep me moving along? Okay. That's my goal. As long as I get my minimum, and then those days when I'm feeling a little more, I'll give a little more. Right.
exactly.
But if it ain't in the
Exactly.
tank, it ain't in the tank. I ain't got the reserve switch to hit it. Let me
I
do my minimum of what I think can keep me healthy and work with that versus trying to always be up here.
I do when I do go, I try to get at least 30, 45 minutes cardio. And I was like, okay, that'll do. Now if I'm really feeling motivated, I'm gonna stay in the gym for about an hour and a half, which
Hmm.
I still won't go past an hour and a half because that's just unnecessary to me. Spending 2, 3 hours in the gym, I no, it's not happening. I'm not. So right now, if I can at least just go and get 30, 45 minutes, I'm proud of myself at that point because I
Yeah.
pushed myself to do so.
There's one guy I know, he's like, he kind of gets over 10,000 steps at the place that he works at, but he's talking about not wanting to work out, but knowing he has to work out somewhat. I said, dude, what you need to do is adjust your mindset,
Hmm.
right, on
Hmm.
what a workout is.
Hmm.
At 60, a workout for you isn't the same at 50, at 40. That's a different mindset and different type of thing. I said, now you have to adjust yourself as to what a workout is. So, in a cardio sense, you're doing the steps every day, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So a little muscular thing, and flexibility thing, and call that shit a day and keep it moving.
Hmm.
Stop making it harder. He's making it hard on himself because he wants to go to the gym and do the workout he used to do back in the day because he feel like he really was doing something. And that's why you don't want to do it
Yeah.
because it's not necessary no more.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
adjust yourself on what a workout is for you now. And that's the whole thing of adjusting. You
Yeah.
have to adjust your mindset. At least that's what
Yeah.
I do. I
Yeah.
ain't
Because
tripping.
when I was working out like 3 times a day. I was going in 5:30 in the morning. I go to work and it's like, oh, and then I got off work at 5:30 and I did another workout and then I would be part of a boot camp that started like at 7 o'clock and I was like, okay. I was doing that for 6 days a week,
Hmm.
sometimes seven. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you doing too much. It don't, and now it's like I look at it in. Don't get me wrong. I love the results, right? Because I got good results. And I wouldn't mind getting back to that point, but it's going to probably take a little slower because I ain't working out 6 days a week like that. At least minimum 2 times a day, which I was doing more than 2 times a day. But no, that was 10 years ago. I can't do that. No, I wouldn't even, my knees won't even let me do it.
Well, it's your risk and rewards. Is it worth the risk to get that particular reward? No. Okay. So then you adjust out what your risk and rewards are. You know, what are you gaining?
I ain't trying to risk nothing, but I want all the rewards. I'm just saying, if you can tell me how I can get the reward without having any risk, mm,
Good luck on
call
that.
me, call me,
Good luck on
call
that.
me,
Get your new
call.
set of problems. Good luck on that.
No, that's your problem to figure it out for me. I can get the results with no risk or minimum risk. Can you help me with that? I know you can, Mr. Professor. It's just I feel a little petty in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would like to thank you for joining us here with Her Love, His Peace. we look forward to seeing your comments, commenting back to you. We look like to say thank you for all the likes, the shares, and the subscribes that you're doing. They are greatly appreciated, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.